and all that, right? Meaning we definitely want to have our cast diagram here on standby, you know, like, oh, that's too much, bro. That's too much. What is going on? Oh, this is just too small. Let me make this a bit bigger, you know, because, you know, why not? So with what we have here, our cast diagram is definitely going to be the one thing that's going to help us. So we have C, A, S, T here, right? Now, with all this being said, we know that 90 plus and 90 minus, it's just these two quadrants here. So we don't even have to worry about every other quadrant really, because yeah, it doesn't look like they're relevant right now. So as we said already, anytime you're dealing with 90 plus or 90 minus, right, depending on what you're going to end up with, when you're going to choose whether it's going to be a plus or a minus, always use what you are starting off with. So for example, cos 90 plus, as long as it's a 90 plus here, the cos changes to a sine. And then as long as you're dealing with the cos, remember in this quadrant, only sine is a positive. So this has to be negative, because you choose this based on what this looks like, not based on where you're going. You choose it based on where you're coming from. So the thing that's important also is trying to keep brackets, especially for these kinds of cases, because in the next question here, well, in this case here, it really doesn't matter, because cos 90 minus is the first quadrant, of which everything is positive in the first quadrant. So here we're going to have sine theta.
I have a question. You see why you say minus sine theta, right? I know you're changing the cos to sine, but then isn't sine supposed to be positive in that quadrant?
Yes, sine is a positive in this quadrant, but then do you see that we're dealing with cos? Yeah. So we use what we are starting off with. So at the bottom here of our division line, we have the cos 90. Cos 90 is like, this is just a special angle. So cos 90 in your calculator is just going to be a 0, you see. So we don't even have to write it. So it's just 0 plus the cos theta there. This is also a 0. So this is multiplied by negative cos theta. These two multiplied by each other, you're going to have like negative sine squared theta at the top, negative cos squared at the bottom. Then you're going to have here the negative cancels the negative. And then sine over cos, it's a tan, but if they're both squared, the tan is also then just going to be squared. Like that.
Oh, okay. Simple.
Perfect. Perfecto. Perfecto.